Zach sang in the gang right now in the studio with Connor Franta. Hey, dude.
What up?
How are you, brother?
Good. How are you?
How was your day today, man?
Oh, pretty good. Had
Yeah?
coffee, slept in,
You,
all that.
you love your coffee.
I do. I really do.
Every article I read about you, coffee is referenced.
I know, and I mean, it's coffee and cats, and I really don't know how that became a thing, that those were the two references to me, but, like, I've rolled with it, and now I'm like, oh, I'm forever stuck with those things.
I now have this visual of you sitting on a really nice balcony, like
Petting
sipping
my
coffee
cat.
and petting a cat. I don't hate any of it. Like, I
don't
really
either.
like it.
Yeah, no, it's a great visual, right?
Yeah, I mean, your life is really crazy right now, dude.
Yeah, I'm really tired.
Just, like, describe the past few weeks for me.
So, let's see. A month ago, I was in Australia for 3 weeks doing a tour that I turned, a YouTube tour that I turned into a book tour as well.
Cool. No big
And-
deal, by the
no
way.
big deal. I flew back and I had 24 hours at my house in LA.
Great.
And then I flew to Minnesota to start my week and a half book tour, which
Wow.
I met like 10,000 people and signed like 10,000 books.
Again, no big deal.
No big deal.
You're a New York Times best-selling author, man.
Yeah, I know. That was a shocker.
Was that ever a goal?
I mean, like, it was definitely a thought in my head. I was like, that would be, like, the coolest thing. But it was never like, if I don't do this, this is not a good book or this was not a good experience. It was like, if I do that, that's cool. That's all it is. It's just something cool.
What sparked this book? Because I feel like you had so much go on in your life.
Totally.
Just surrounding, like, a certain time period. Maybe a span of, like...
2014, 2015 was
that-
huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like 2014 for you, personal growth, obviously, professional growth.
Totally.
Where did the book fall within that timeline of life?
I started it in May of last year, so exactly a year ago.
Okay.
And so it was really during, like, a huge part of my life,
Wow.
like, emotionally and professionally. So it was really interesting to kind of write it as I was going through it. So, so the first half of the book is like my beginning, beginning of my life, memoir, all that. In Minnesota, like me talking about family and all that simple stuff. But going to the more current issues, which is the second half of the book,
Okay.
it was really... it was easy, but it was also really like emotionally difficult to write because it was happening in real time.
Yeah.
So it was easy to
That's challenging.
yeah, it was easy to put the words on the page, but like it was like, oh shit, people have to read this. That's
Yeah.
scary.
Did you write the book by yourself?
I did. Yeah, no, it was really difficult, and I like commend every author who's written something that's more than what I've written.
And by yourself, man, that's
Yeah.
an accomplishment. How long?
Hardly
did
by myself. I mean, I had like lots of help because like,
Of course.
you have editors. Like, oh my god, you have so many editors.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Dude, okay, you have an interesting background. You went to Catholic school. You went to
I
Catholic
did.
school from elementary school to 8th grade. I did the same.
Did you?
Tiny school you went to?
Yeah, tiny.
How big was it?
65 kids or something.
The entire school?
Yep. the
Mine was
entire school.
85.
Oh my god, yes. It definitely leaves an imprint on you. Like,
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
I don't know if it's good or bad, and I still don't really. I mean, it's probably good, but like, it's always there. And
I feel like for me, maybe it was good because my thing came with the teachers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the teachers were so different and they were so nasty. Like I would go into school every day and they would constantly remind me, "Oh, you're going to end up in jail one day." You're like I was that asshole
nuns
kid.
whipping you with rulers.
Dude, that's what I was a part of. But they weren't nuns; they were just crazy old women. And
You definitely like keep your innocence when you're in like a
You
small
do.
Catholic school. When I went to high school, I was like,
scary.
this is the real world.
How big was your high school?
No, it was only 500 people, so it was still
Wow.
very small. But like,
But that's still that's a culture shock.
yeah, totally. To like, yeah, just everything was a culture shock, and I was like, I'm so innocent. All these people with their words and their substances.
Yeah, pants are so low. Where's the ties, man? Where are the khaki shorts?
Yeah, exactly.
When did you start YouTube officially?
Started on August 21st, 2010.
Okay, so you know that.
Had to think about it,
Date
but I
like
got
it's
it
yesterday.
Yeah. So that was about 4.5, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever go on the internet and watch your old videos?
I do. I do watch my videos sometimes. Like even the ones that I upload the week of, I'll find myself watching it as I'm reading comments and kind of being like, "What did I make here?" It's one of those things where I'm like editing and like I really don't know what I created. And then later I'm like, I should actually watch it and see if it's good.
Your videos are great.
Oh, thanks.
They're real.
Yeah, they are very real.
Too real sometimes?
No, not really. It's the whole like we were talking about before this, the whole like 5 minutes. So it's like I know what to cut out and I know what to keep in.
Have you ever had to kind of like balance that line
Oh,
a little
totally.
bit? Like what was one thing that you had in your video originally and you kind of said, I don't think so.
Oh, that one time where I just get frustrated and start like, no. I mean, like, there's nothing that is on camera, but there's definitely stuff that like personal life that I'm like, that doesn't need to be said. Like, everyone has to have their secrets.
Did you ever feel like you needed to be more honest?
No, I think I'm pretty honest. To be honest, I'm pretty honest.
Your honesty is commendable.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Because watching and I feel the need sometimes to be very honest. Like I said, we kind of do. We don't do the same thing. Completely different mediums, but radio is very intimate. You go on, you spiel about your life, you create stories, you tell stories. Yep. It's a different form. And sometimes I feel like I need to be more honest.
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely feel that, and that's kind of why I did the book to go even one step further. I guess it's more than one step. It's definitely a couple steps further than a YouTube video.
What video got you really nervous before you posted it?
Oh, the coming out video. I was definitely really nervous.
Beautiful video, by the way.
Thank you.
It was really nice.
Yeah, no, it was hard, but it was so rewarding. Like immediately, after I pressed publish, I pressed the button and I was like shaking for like the whole day just because it was so scary to be like that vulnerable.
Yeah. I mean, you let yourself out there.
Yeah. But I mean, immediately rewarding. Like, wouldn't regret it for a second.
Ever?
No, never. Great. And the whole goal of it, like after a while I just started realizing like this will make me feel better, but also it's going to make other people feel better, I feel like.
Do you feel like when you posted that video, right, the response you got, it was so mixed? Reading those comments, it was not mixed. I mean, everybody was for you. Everybody was supporting you.
Yeah, I was going to be like, was it? Oh, damn, no. I haven't looked at the comments in a while.
Obviously, there's those few dickheads. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, there's those few dudes or guys, girls, whatever it is from all over the country who are just, hiding behind a keyboard.
Yeah. I feel like they just have nothing better to do, to be honest. They just look up, like, controversial terms and are like, I'm going to comment something that these people don't want me to comment, just to stir the pot.
I'm going to be that guy.
I'm going to be that guy.
I'm going to cause an issue here.
Yeah.
Are you immune to that type of criticism by now?
Not immune, but pretty close. I definitely have a good, like, suit of armor around me that, like, I just, like, roll my eyes and move on.
You have to.
Yeah.
What was the first nasty comment you ever received? Do you remember when you got it?
I don't. I do remember getting it. I don't know what it was or what video, but I remember getting it and being like, oh my God, I have haters. How cool. I was like, this is awesome.
It validates your life, doesn't it?
Yeah, like my first dislike on my video, I was like, whoa.
Yes! Someone hates me, Mom!
Yeah.
Come on! Let's do this!
I've made it, Mom.
People hate me! This is huge!
Yeah.
Okay. You also take a really cool approach to, like, fangirls. Watching your videos, understanding, like, you laugh at them. You laugh at the fact that people, girls, 12-year-old girls want to do you.
I laugh with them.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't laugh at them. Because at the end of the day, they support me. But it's fun to, like, it's fun to poke fun at all that.
Yeah.
Because it is pretty funny.
Do you think it is a little crazy? Do you think it's gotten a little too far?
No, I don't think so. I mean, like, to each his own. If you want to do that, go for it. Like, if you want to have a Twitter fan account and fangirl over someone, go for it. I mean, if Jennifer Lawrence had a Twitter, I would make a fan account. I'd fangirl over her. I'd be like, yes, Jennifer for president.
I'm just picturing you now harassing Jennifer Lawrence.
I mean,
but, hey,
harassing is such a harsh term.
Just sending, a million tweets a day.
Yeah,
Come on.
Exactly.
Come on. Okay. You really are an entrepreneur because I feel like getting to know you and learning more about you, and I want to learn so much about you now because you really you interest me greatly because
study me.
You started with O2L, Our Second Life.
I did. I started before then. We all had our own channels like a couple years before them, but moved into that channel after we became friends.
What happened there?
So it was such a great experience. So we all had channels for a good 1-2 years before that. We met at VidCon, made a group channel.
Great idea.
And it really blew up. Like, it's still to this day, I think, the biggest collab channel that's ever been on YouTube. So
huge.
So go us, like, something we never thought would happen. And then just, I mean, after a while, something just gets, like, a little boring and you get creatively frustrated that, like, having challenges every single week, you can't make up something creative after a while. Like, I'm trying to think of how many weeks we did it. We did it for like 2 years. I mean, after a while, it just became like chair week. And I'm like, well, at some point, you really do need to move on and like start focusing on something else. And that happened for all of us, and we've all got our own things going for us now.
And was there a sense of, were you nervous making that video, leaving that channel?
Yeah, I definitely was. I was more nervous to like let people down because there was at a certain point I knew that like no one wanted it to end like fan wise, and I never wanted to be that person that kind of ruined someone's not dream, but ruined something special for someone.
Of course.
So I wanted to make sure that people knew like I still have my own channel. I'm still gonna make videos. I'm not like leaving the internet. So it was a little bit scary, but then I trusted my viewers to not hate me for making something that making a decision that I wanted.
And I also feel like leaving that channel, you stepped into your own. your videos, they didn't change, but I feel like your brand changed. You matured.
Yeah, I definitely had time to focus, and that's kind of what I wanted. I was going in too many directions, so I really wanted to focus on what I really wanted to do versus just like giving 20% here, 20% there.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, you've taken YouTube and you've leveraged it in many different forms of industry.
Yeah.
I mean, you're working on a coffee line, man.
Yeah, I know. That was weird.
Can you just explain to me how that even happens?
So what I found recently with YouTube, or just with what I do in general, is that like it sounds cheesy, but anything is possible. If you have an interest or a passion in something, try and make it into something. Try and pursue it some way. So I was like, okay, I like coffee. People know I like coffee. I should do something with coffee. So I worked with LA Coffee Club, which is a local coffee distributor, and picked some beans from Guatemala. Not actually physically picked, but like sipped like some bunch of different coffees.
You actually flew to Guatemala and you picked like, each bean by hand.
I was like, this bean. This is a good one. And designed the bagging. They bagged it and just happened within like a month. It was a lot easier than I thought it would be, but only easy because of that company I worked with.
Isn't it amazing that once you reach a certain point in your life and in your career, so many other doors open?
Totally.
I mean, this book wouldn't have been possible without that channel.
Exactly, and I appreciate that every single day, to think that like none of this would be possible without all of the other growth before it.
You had the CD?
Yep.
Crown?
Yep, I did. So yeah, I named it Crown, but then I realized that like there's no way I could trademark that, so I changed the name to something that I could trademark.
What is it now?
Common Culture.
Okay, Common Culture.
Yeah.
Explain to me what you did here. You took just artists, unknowns, indie artists. What was it?
Yeah, so essentially, again, I'm interested in music, but I can't necessarily sing. You know, the whole voice cracking, which you've heard like 2 or 3 times.
Of course, it sounds beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. It's like
I love it.
So I would find artists that I really enjoyed, and then I would find a song of theirs that I really enjoyed, and I would have my record label reach out to them, and we would see if they wanted to be on the compilation, and essentially just have me promote them for like a month. And
Huge.
Some of them would say yes, some of them would say no, and then make a CD out of it, and I would design it and put it on iTunes, and somehow made it into Billboard charts.
Billboard Top 200.
Yep.
It made iTunes, the pop charts.
Yep, top 10 on that, I think.
It's phenomenal.
Thanks.
Because I think you're taking – I feel like to you these are calculated risks a little bit, and they kind of always
definitely
end up doing well.
Yeah.
Was it nervous getting into these new business ventures? I mean, your name's on the line here.
Yeah, it was not necessarily nerve-wracking, but I was definitely like hesitant to do it because I didn't want people to think that I was like selling out to do a bunch of different things and be like, buy this, buy that, buy this. It's more like I really wanted to pursue these and also promote, especially the CDs, promote these artists and kind of be like, this is cool music. Like, if you want to listen to it, listen to it.
Exactly.
And I want to expose them to you, and, like, hopefully they'll make some sort of – their career will, like, grow from it.
Yeah.
Coffee, I'm like, I like coffee, but a lot of people don't necessarily like coffee. I'm like, just give it a try. This is specialty coffee. It tastes really good. Trust me. Yeah. And then plus that one was partnered with the Thirst Project, so I got to also give a little money to charity.
Yeah, you have your charity, the Thirst Project.
Yeah.
That's what you did for your birthday?
Yeah, that was great. That was probably – someone asked me what the most rewarding thing I ever did, and I said working on this book, but I was like, wait, no, never mind. It was the Thirst Project by far. Like, I can't believe I even.
What is it? Switzerland, Wells, right? What do you do?
No, it's Swaziland.
Sorry,
close. Yeah, no, it's Wells in Africa. So essentially, it's an organization that builds wells in Africa and gives clean water to people who don't otherwise have it.
Awesome.
Yeah, and my viewers raised $230,000 in 30 days.
That's amazing.
Yeah, truly. Like, it was. I think they raised almost $100,000 in the first day. So it was over the moon.
Why you, Connor? Why do you think people have?
Why me?
Why do you think they've formed such a bond with you?
I don't know. I ask myself that question every day, but I think it just has something to do with that I'm very open and real, and I try and keep it real. Like, during the ups and downs, I definitely am not hiding if I'm happy or sad. And I think that relates well with people who are going through, like, their issues, but also going through up moments and need that person to bring them back up.
Isn't that the amazing thing, that the human life, even though everybody lives a different life, there's parts of each and every one of our lives that are common. Like, there's a common denominator between each and every one of us.
Yeah.
We go through the same things. Some of us go through ups, some of us go through downs. There's always relatable factors, no matter if, you're talking to a girl who's in Burlington, Vermont, or Garden City, Kansas, or, Houston, Texas. They're all kind of going through the same thing.
Yeah, my mom was talking when I was in Australia. My mom was just like, it's because she was, of course, like Googling like how the meetups were going, like looking on YouTube like footage from it. I'm like, okay, mom, and she's like, it's so interesting to see that they react the exact same way.
Yeah,
obviously the culture is not that different, but she's like, yeah, it's just interesting to see that it's like such a universal thing.
How do your parents feel?
Oh, they love it. They've grown to absolutely love it. My mom texts me within minutes of my video going up on Mondays and just like, I loved it. Like, seems like everyone else loved it too. I saw one mean comment. That was mean. Like, it's funny.
I feel like your parents can brag to all their friends like crazy.
Yeah, no, they love it with the book now. They're like, can you send us more copies? Can you sign them and make it out to Beverly? And I'm like, okay, Mom, for you.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it is.
Like, honestly, how often do you sit back and think about where you came from to where you are now?
Like every day. I feel like I mention Minnesota to people every single day, and like now my friends from college are graduating this year, so it's even more interesting to think about that.
How scary is that? I'm going to the same thing back in New Jersey.
Terrifying.
And it's like, I've been out of high school for this long. I haven't gone to college. Oh my God. And like, life is moving, man.
I know. Sometimes you forget it does.
Was there ever a moment in your journey, where you kind of said, okay, I'm okay with going back to Minnesota. I'm okay with really going to college and leading this life, the life that I was kind of not destined for, but the people around me kind of expected from me.
Yeah. So are you saying, did I ever feel like I could go back?
Or was there ever a moment throughout this journey so far where you kind of thought, there's a lot of shit going on here.
Yeah.
I can walk away and be okay with it.
Yeah. No, I don't feel like I've done enough yet. Like, I feel like everything's still growing and I'm still so interested in everything, where everything's going, and like finding out what kind of like person I'm becoming and what kind of like businessman I'm becoming. So I definitely don't think there's any way I'm going to step away anytime soon.
Because you really are becoming a businessman.
Yeah, no, truly. And
you're running an industry.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Dropped
out of business school, running a business now.
A pretty successful one. Is YouTube videos in the future of this business? Will it always be a part of this business?
I mean, who can say always? Like, 10 years from now, who knows? I mean, 20 years from now, I doubt it, because I'll just be super old by then.
Yeah.
But definitely, as long as I'm having fun and as long as I feel creative with it, of course. Like, I feel like I'm pushing myself every day, trying to make something new.
Hard to keep it fresh?
It is, but like I feel like I can convince myself like once or twice a month I'm going to do something like groundbreaking new and like that like makes myself feel really accomplished.
Yeah.
And then the other couple weeks it's just like those fun upbeat videos that like everyone seems to love.
It gets hard for you sometimes, doesn't it?
Hard? I mean, not necessarily, because I have a million ideas. Like my head is always running with ideas, and like being on the move for a month, I get a million more ideas. So it's never hard, but it's always like I definitely want to be pushing boundaries, and I don't want to just be uploading Q&As, or I don't want to be uploading tag videos. I want to be doing something that definitely leaves an impact on people.
You can't plateau.
No, definitely not.
That's been our thing.
But also,
too.
like you have to allow yourself to realize that sometimes videos don't get views, and sometimes they don't get thumbs up. Doesn't mean they're bad. Doesn't mean they're good if they get them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like you've been doing this for so long that you've figured it out. Your videos are down to a perfect T. Who shoots them with you? Is it just you?
Just me. I anytime you see like my hand shaking another hand, that's me behind the camera. Like, truly, if you go look back like 2 or 3 videos ago, I'm just like, pretending.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about anybody else. You produce them all by yourself. Yeah. Graphics, editing, everything.
The best worst thing I've ever done to myself.
Wow.
The graphics are the best part. I love doing that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I couldn't walk into a radio studio by myself. I need like 15 people around me.
Help! How do I use this door?
I have no idea. Can someone get the door for me? Why do you're expecting me to get up and get water? What are you?
What
crazy?
is this key?
Help! See, I give you credit.
Thanks.
How big's your team? Do you have like manager, agent, publicist?
Yeah,
I
got all that behind the scenes, and they help with all that behind the scenes because God knows I can't do that.
You live alone?
I do.
Do you have a house, apartment?
I have I rent an apartment, 2-bedroom.
Cool.
Yeah, one is just for like all my crap I don't know what to do. I'm just like, put it in this room, shut the door.
You live in LA?
I do.
You like it here?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I like the weather's great, and the people are
right. Yeah. How long have you been here?
I've been here 2 years, so it's actually been a while.
You've been here longer than I have.
Really?
I just got here from New York in January, but I've been coming back and forth, and the people suck. You know?
Yeah, there's definitely gems though. Like you find your gems.
Yeah, you got to dig.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird.
Yeah, it's interesting when just being in the airports. It's interesting going in LA airport. Everyone's wearing all black and sunglasses. You go to like Minnesota and people are wearing like sweatpants and like Minnesota sweatshirts. And I'm like,
different.
And they're Uggs.
Do you socialize a lot here? Like, have you made friends? Have you figured out, like, how to, be cool in BLA and be famous a little bit?
Hardly any of that. I definitely have my small group of friends, and I kind of keep it small. I'm definitely, like, sheltered, and I do, like, enjoy that. I don't want to have, like, a million friends. And I do tend to socialize, but not, like, every day. I'm definitely fine with being home and doing emails, like, on my couch and watching the Kardashians.
Is it competitive between you and your friends now?
No, I definitely. All of us push each other, and I love that. Like, seeing people, like, get their own clothing lines or get a #1 album or do anything else. I'm like, that pushes me to be like, I need to keep, doing my best and know that, like, anything I want, I can reach and achieve.
See, are most of your friends YouTube stars?
Yeah, there's a lot of them that are.
See, with me, I don't have anybody else. Like, nobody does radio. You know what I mean? It's like Ryan Seacrest and like 5 or 6 other dudes. Yeah, he won't.
I'll DM him for you.
Ryan, take my call. Zach who? Who the fuck is this? So, like, all of my friends, like, they're singers. You know what I mean? We don't, like, there's no competition.
Yeah, but that's also great because then I think it's just interesting to have that creative energy coming in from different industries.
Oh, my God. Collaborating with my friends or, like, sitting down with Ariana and working on, like, what her YouTube release is or her music video release is or what the album looks like. Collaborating and being a part of something that's huge and seeing the look in my friends' eyes when they, help me out or when I help them, it's so collaborative.
Totally.
It's a really special relationship.
Yeah.
Have you, friends, O2L, are your friends? You
must
have gotten close.
Yeah, no, still friends with them. I keep telling Keen and JC, I'm like, I need to see your new house. It looks crazy.
Are they all doing YouTube still?
Yeah, no, everyone's still doing their YouTube thing. And then everyone's kind of like branching out into their own little industry too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like you need to branch out into an industry to survive. Do you think YouTube? You can't just do it just strictly based on YouTube.
I mean, you could try, but I feel like I would just get bored. Like, I feel like I need to do other things to keep me creatively satisfied. Otherwise, I would just be just like a robot for for years and years.
Do you hate anything about what you're doing right now?
No, not really. I mean, like, there are times, of course, that, like, something will happen, I'm like, but I get over it within, like, minutes. So, not really.
You get used to it now.
Yeah, it's pretty great thing.
How are the fans?
Great. I honestly can say my, like, fandom is so sweet. Like, they're all so nice and so sweet and so, like, artistic. And what I love about with the book is that they're all starting to take, like, cute photos of them with the book, and they'll, like, put it in, like, a patch of flowers, and they'll take a photo of it. And they'll, like, lay it next to their coffee and take a picture of it. I'm like,
I saw that. That's awesome.
I'm like, my hat is off to you. Like, amazing.
Dude, they're so dedicated.
Yeah, no, they really are.
It's a different type of relationship that you have with them.
Yeah, no, like, and that's the best part is the fact that, like, we're all there for each other no matter what. Mm-hmm. Like, I can go on Twitter if I'm ever feeling anything and just, like, immediately communicate with thousands of people, and they're starting to do the same thing, like, with each other. So
awesome.
It's great. Yeah.
You're connecting people.
Yeah, and I love that.
When you look back 50 years from now, 80 years from now, what's that one
80
memory?
80 years from now, I'll be dead.
Hey, science is going well. Yeah. I've already planned to freeze my head. Great radio needs to live on forever, my friend. And I don't know if anyone else can deliver. So I need to live on. 80 years from now, 50 years from now, what's that one memory that you want to relive?
One memory I want to relive. Wow, that's a tough one. I mean, I think I'll always remember the day I made the coming out video, and I think I'll always remember, like, the amount of support and, like, the amount of, like, texts from friends and phone calls and emails and tweets and just everything. I just felt so loved that day, and I think I'll never forget, like, that people can be really good.
Yeah.
And that day kind of proved that for me.
Were you surprised that so many people cared about that coming out video?
Yeah, that amount, yeah. Like, I wasn't surprised that people cared, but I was surprised that it got that many views and that many people cared.
I think it's weird. On one hand, the world shouldn't care. We should just accept, right? Totally. And then on the other hand, you want the world to care because then it gets a message out.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think it's at a point where it's good that people are starting to say, like, we get it, we don't care. And I'm like, okay, well, that's good. That means it's becoming, like, normalized. But at the same time, like, it's still, like, any issue we have still needs to be addressed for a while.
Was it even harder for you to make that video knowing that, like, if you look back in your past videos, like, there's a ton of, like, you talking about girls. There's a video saying, I'm not gay. You know, there's a ton of evidence proving that this video that you made is false.
It's the funniest thing. I mean, the video talking about girls is more like, I always came from the perspective of, like, this is what you should like. Or this is what blah, this is my opinion. And, like, I always tried to use, like, neutral terms like they and their. And, like, I was very, like, and that was, like, that was a total, like, mixed process in my life. But, like, yeah, the I'm not gay video was totally like, leave me alone. Stop asking that question.
Yeah.
It's funny now, though. I think it's the most funny thing.
Was it? I mean, you have such a real relationship with the people who watch your videos, obviously. Was it did you feel did you obviously feel in your heart of hearts that it was cool to be real with these people in one respect, and then kind of keep the sexuality portion kind of off to the sides until it was time?
Yeah, no, definitely.
You were cool with it?
Definitely, yeah. I think it's one of those things that when I was ready, I could tell them whenever. It's like it's one of those things I think anyone shouldn't have to tell anyone, and anyone shouldn't feel obligated to tell anyone until they're ready, because it's such a personal thing.
Awesome. Yeah. You have so much going on, man. Jeez. Seriously. You should be very proud.
Thanks.
Parents must be proud.
Yeah, no, they're great.
How do your friends in Minnesota take it?
Oh, they're the same. I had a bunch come to my Minnesota book signing, and they were all just like in awe. Like, they don't get it, but they just love it. Like they don't get it in the sense they're like, this is crazy.
You learn that your friends don't understand it.
Yeah.
Like, my friends will get angry at me, and I'll be like, I'll be like 15 or 16 hours not moving. Like, my phone's on the other side of the car or the room or whatever. Yeah. And like, I'll go to my phone, I'll get text messages from my friends like, what the fuck? You haven't texted me back. What are you doing? I'm busy. Yeah. I'm working. I promise you, I'll get back to you. Have you lost friends during this process? Journey?
I feel like everyone especially moving states, you definitely drift from people, but that's just the natural way of life. But like when I go back, I can pick up with most of my friends like that.
Like in a second.
Yeah, like in a second. It's just like, oh, you're in the same town? Okay, let's hang out. And then it's like we never were apart for a year.
That's the way it needs to be.
Yeah, and I love that.
Was it scary moving here? Did you move here alone?
No, I moved with Ricky Dillon. He's another YouTuber.
Okay, cool, yeah.
So that was very helpful. If I did it alone, I don't think I could have done it alone, to be honest. I think I needed that push to have someone be like, I'm going, want to come with? And I was like, okay.
Why did you take that risk?
It was never the risk of moving and leaving everything. So we kind of just were like, do you want to go for a summer? And that was easy. I was like, yeah, of course, why not? It was a little scary because I'd never done anything like that, but when I actually decided to stay, that was terrifying. But it worked out.
Hardest move in your life to make besides the coming out video?
Yeah, it probably was that. I mean, that was a big leap of faith, moving and dropping out of school and just like putting it all in on this.
How scary was it to drop out of school? Were you scared at all?
I was scared, but I was also I knew it was the right thing for me at the time, because it was more like I can go back I can still go back. I have all my credits. Like, I had a good GPA. I have a good relationship with all my professors there, and they all like want me back. But I'm like, in time. You
don't have time for that. What'd your parents
think?
Maybe
soon. Oh, they were hesitant for months. They were like, which, I mean, good sign, good parenting.
Of course.
Like, be skeptical of everything. But after a while, I definitely convinced someone just one semester. We'll see how it goes. And then I went from like 500,000 to $1 million in one semester. So
Jesus.
Yeah. So I was like, gotta stay, Mom and Dad.
Deuces!
It's the right thing, I think.
Dude, my mom is still the same way. My mom, like, if there's a dull in a conversation that we're having, right? Even though I'm on all these radio stations, we have a very popular show, she'll still go, and I'm on, like, she can hear me, like, in New York City. Like, she walks down the street, and my voice on the radio, and it'll be a dull conversation, she'll go, have you thought about going back to school? Like, what are you thinking? Like, you can still go, there's night classes, like, you can get into UCLA, USC. I get it. Like, I'm done. Like, I'll go back.
You're like, maybe in a couple of years, yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a thing that's important, but I think for select people, like, it's one of those things that you don't need at that time, especially.
Yeah.
Because it was something that, like, I just couldn't. Like, I was doing 2 sports. I was doing classes. I was doing YouTube videos every day. I was just super, super swamped, and I needed to let something go.
School was it.
Yeah.
The one thing I miss about not going to college, it's not like the educational portion of it, because at least in my field, you hands-on learning is key. Yeah. But the social aspect.
Oh, no, I did love the social aspect. I miss a lot of my friends and a lot of the gatherings and everything.
Yeah, going to parties on the weekend.
Yeah, just hanging out in general. We had like a little cafe that we'd all meet up every single night and like avoid homework, and it was just the best nights.
Do you miss those nights?
Yeah, totally. I still do. Yeah.
You should try to bring that back.
No, anytime I go back, I'm always like, I'll drive the extra 4 hours to have one of those nights.
It's worth it, then.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
What do you still want to accomplish? What's next for you? What's on the horizon?
I want to accomplish a lot, to be honest. But what's next? I'm going to keep rolling with this book thing because it's doing so well, and I'm so interested in it. But I would really like to go into clothing of sorts and kind of develop the common culture brand into something like that.
Guys or girls clothing?
I'm thinking both. Like, why not please everyone?
I'd wear something.
Here's for you.
Yeah, I like what you're wearing. I dig this. I'd wear something like this.
You could do this. We could all do this.
I can rock that shit. I could do that. Clothing is it?
Yeah, I think that'd be cool to move into next. As for like years from now, I mean, who knows? I would definitely like to keep seeing where this is all going to go.
Do you learn from any YouTubers?
Oh yeah, I learn from YouTubers I'm like an avid YouTube watcher, so
Okay.
I'm constantly like seeing what people are doing and seeing how they're doing it, and kind of like I think like unintentionally studying up on like each industry and each person's talents and business.
How important is that in your business to do that?
I think it's really important.
Yeah.
And it's something that came naturally to me because I really do enjoy YouTube and I don't really watch TV. So it's just like a bonus to be like, and I'm also learning. This is my homework, right?
Who are you learning the most from? Who are you unintentionally studying?
Who am I unintentionally studying? I mean, Grace Helbig is absolutely killing it.
She is doing really well.
She's killing it. And then I learn a lot from John Green, Bethany Moda.
Bethany's awesome.
Yeah, I learned, but to be honest, everyone.
Isn't it cool now that you have all this success and you've made your own YouTube videos, you've created your own industry? You go back and you watch these videos and you study these other talents, you look at it in a different way.
Yeah.
You look at it with a different light.
Yeah.
Like I listen to Howard Stern, and you're right, I unintentionally study, you know, because you're looking at it differently.
Yeah, the amount of Kanye interviews I watch, I'm just like, I'm learning so much important shit.
I need to be just like Kanye in every interview that I do.
Hardly just like, right? He's definitely a genius, though.
No, he is.
He's a genius.
I feel like sometimes he might communicate his
he's
intelligence the wrong way.
Yeah, a little arrogant at times, but also like, I mean, you have to be.
Is there somebody that you have to be arrogant if you're Kanye?
That's. I think you have to be arrogant if you really want to get a point across and be successful in a certain way.
Have you ever had to be arrogant?
I'm really bad at it. I'm really bad at also talking about myself. So things like these, I'm like, yeah, I do that stuff. Like, I think that's like the Minnesota nice in me coming out there. I'm like, all right, let's talk about you. What are you like? What's your favorite color? How are you? I've done that in interviews. I'll be like, how are you? And they're like, this is your interview.
We want to talk to you, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, sorry.
Nobody cares about the lady from the newspaper or what my color is.
I do. Yeah. She looks great today. What's your story?
Have you ever had an asshole moment?
From me, like myself?
Yeah.
Nothing on video. Nothing will ever surface. No, I mean, like, of course, I definitely have my moments where I'm, like, tired and I'm just like, but I think I tend to be I would like to think down to earth and, like, nice to people.
Do you have to make a conscious effort when you're in a setting where you're around doing a photo shoot or you're doing something, a conscious effort to be not a diva, not an asshole,
no,
to be
I honestly,
down to earth?
I honestly think that I don't have to. Like, I really care.
Really?
I really care about other people, and I like don't want to be a bother. So I'm always like, thank you so much. Sorry about that. Are okay? Need help?
I'm just picturing you helping out the woman at craft services or something. Like it's your shoot and you're the one serving the macaroni and cheese.
I'm like, what's up? Do you want me to go get the bread? We're out. I got this.
Awesome. Yeah. Connor, man. You're a good dude.
Thanks. You are too.
Thanks. You have a lot of stuff coming up, and you should be really, really fucking proud.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited.
From Minnesota to L.A., New York Times bestselling author. Dude, you have 222 million views on your YouTube channel.
Yeah. No,
4 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Over. Ooh, sorry.
Numbers.
Be proud, dude. You have a big book out right now. Everybody should pick it up. It's called A Work in Progress. And check it out. Connor, thank you, dude.
Thanks for having me.